is time for the Morning Mix. There it is, the animation, Morning Mix animation. We've got a lot to talk about this morning. As I said, well, first you want to sing. Go ahead.
I just love when we have the music. It's like a Friday feel. But please,
very Friday
George.
feel. But as I was saying, the theme of this morning's discussion: comebacks. Barack Obama, Tiger Woods, Jay Leno, NBC, and I want to start with the president. Look at this New Yorker cover. Let me first introduce everybody. Mort Zuckerman, media giant, Ivanka Trump, the author of Trump Card, Playing to Win and Work in Life. I wanted to get into it so quickly, didn't even introduce anybody. I apologize. Look at this New Yorker cover from earlier in the week. It shows President Obama last year kind of walking on water. Bam, 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 goes kerplunk, splashes in to the ocean. When I was at the White House earlier in this week, the president loved this so much that he's actually putting it up in his office. But more to a serious point here, the president did have to reset at the State of the Union. Did he do it?
Well, I think he made some progress on it. In a way, I thought it was a very good speech, except it sort of exacerbated the things that I worry about the most with him. One is he talks too much. There's a sense about him that he talks the talk but doesn't yet walk the walk. It was a long speech, and he also covered about 50 different subjects. And it seems to me that the country now is not going to listen to all of this. They'll forget about a lot of it. But what they do want to concentrate on is the economy and jobs. That's such a critical issue.
And he did make that, Ivanka. That was his #1 priority. Right. He made that very clear.
He did focus on jobs, and I think that was the one thing that he did right, or one of a few things he did right during the speech. But by the end of it, it was so convoluted with the white noise of everything else that he was pushing. The problem I have, though, every time he speaks now is we all know he's a great orator, but you get a sense that he just is reluctant to drill down into the substance of the issues. So even bringing up healthcare, that was a great opportunity for him to really discuss initiatives in specificity, and he failed to do so. So again, it doesn't give us a clear path of how he wants to get to accomplishing his goals.
I think part of the reason for that is it's hard to figure out what he's going to be able to get through the Congress right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that is something that is on the forethought of his mind.
There was a lot of
And
blame.
the Republicans were stone-faced through all of this. You couldn't get the sense of any responsiveness on their part at all.
He was very critical, and yet I think he should, take a second step back and realize he has to get his own house in order.
You mentioned the blame. After the speech, I ran into Senator John McCain in the hallway of the Russell office building, and all he did is he was walking by, he was going, B-I-O-B, B-I-O-B, B-I-O-B. Blame it on Bush. That's what he was saying in the speech. But, but the president is going to go to the Republicans today, and they are going to have to step up to their responsibilities
Well,
as
look at what the Supreme Court. That was a pretty low blow and a little bit unexpected.
Yeah,
so.
but you're a fabulous businesswoman, and I want to talk about two groups. Or you have Toyota, you have Jay Leno, that are both their brand is pretty damaged right now. I don't know if you got a chance to see Jay Leno on Oprah, who asked him some pretty pointed questions. So let's play a little bit of Oprah with Jay Leno.
Is it going to be humbling to go back, or?
Yeah, I think we got our work cut out for us. I think we have a lot of work to do. I think there's a lot of damage control that has to be done. The only way you can fix these things is to try and do good shows, not be bitter, not be angry or upset.
That's a much different tone, because you know how they were all being very playful and taking jabs at NBC, and now realizing, okay, you're going back. Letterman is #1. Nightline is #1. You have to really rehab yourself, your brand.
Well, I mean, Letterman just must be laughing about the farce that has ensued from all of this. But I think it boils down to the ratings were not good. I mean, fundamentally, that's what's to blame for all of this. Now, maybe it was mishandled, maybe things were said that were inappropriate, but it all boils down to ratings. And, Mort would understand this.
Yeah,
if you can't retain an audience, then there has to be a shakeup.
What hurt Jay Leno is it kind of hurt his nice guy brand.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. He did not want to leave the show. When he did leave it, it was an arrangement that was made 5 years earlier in order to keep Conan on the network. And it's true that there was the ratings that drove him, not just the ratings of that show, but frankly, leading into the 11 o'clock news for all the subsidiaries for the network was just very, very damaging, because Jay was not doing well on that time slot. Still in all, if you had to find a way to handle it badly, by God, they found it.
They found it, NBC and the late night comedians. But how about Toyota? This was pretty much a shocker to see Toyota, their whole reputation for quality, taking such a massive hit this week. How do they turn around?
Well, I think the thing I was most surprised about is reading the quotes from Toyota, in that they almost insinuated for ages quality has been a problem, and they haven't they haven't really drilled down or addressed it because they were so busy seeking global expansion. And I'm reading this and saying, wait, aren't you a brand known for quality? How are you admitting that this has been a systematic problem for a decade? So I was very surprised by their response to a pretty terrible situation.
And the engineer who was responsible for that has recently committed seppuku.
Translate.
He's committed suicide in the honor of the company. No, I'm just kidding. They asked him to do this, I can tell you. I mean, it really is staggering when you think about it, because this is so basic to everything they were doing. You have to ask yourself, what kind of systems do they have in place to make sure that this doesn't happen? It really is extraordinary.
Is this an opportunity for the American auto industry?
To an extent, I still think the Japanese cars have a reputation. I mean, and a quality and a price point that'll work for them. But I think it certainly is an opening for the American automobile industry. The real question is, will the American automobile be able to respond?
And you have seen some American companies stepping up and offering rebates and trying to
steal those customers.
Yeah, steal those customers a little bit.
Oh,
That makes sense.
The lawsuits are just about to start
8
flooding
million
in.
cars.
So.
8 million
Well, we
cars
see some
were defective.
lawsuits involved with John Edwards. I don't know if you've been following. Everyone wants to look down and not address that. You're thinking this is a gentleman who was running for president of the United States.
It's terrible. He's the poster boy, too, for sort of good, clean-cut, all-American. And it's just terrible. I mean, I think what he's done, how he's disgraced his family, how he's lied without any... the fact that he admitted the affair and still denied the child, I don't get. If you're finally going to come out and say, okay, I've lied to you once, but I didn't have the child. I don't understand that disconnect. It's like he very reluctantly gets brought to the edge and then admits.
Where did you get the last 10 seconds?
Well, I tell you, I mean, a plague on all their houses. I mean, I think he and, frankly, his wife and his chief of staff all handled themselves disgracefully. I mean, whoever wants to have them in the public eye? It was, the whole thing was so, it made everybody feel kind of dirty, to be honest with you.
Okay, what do you think of all these hot topics? Weigh in on our shout-out board at abcnews.com.